All right. So, some RV manufacturers and some RV dealerships are going to absolutely hate this video. Why? Because I'm going to reveal my top 5 worst fifth wheel brands for year model 2026. Now, as Stephen A. Smith says, the list is fluid. The list is fluid. And so, if one of these manufacturers flies me out, allows me to do a completely open, transparent video with no editing and no BS, and kind of shows me, hey, either we made some changes or, hey, some of the things you saw were old things that really don't apply to stuff we're going to future build, I might have to do another list. But let's see, did anybody do that last year? Of course not. So welcome into HB RV Lifestyle, the podcast. I'm the host, John Livingston, aka the Honey Badger, here to give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business, as well as some other things. Now, some of you are like, who the heck are you? And how can you make a list? Well, I have 15 years of experience in the RV industry. I've been a technician, parts person, finance manager, general manager. I've worn so many hats in this industry that I believe my opinion does count for something. Now, are people going to disagree with me? Of course they are, especially if there's a culture, or some of you will call it a cult following on certain products. Of course there's going to be blowback. But still, and by the way, I also want to point out something. When I list something on one of these lists, and it doesn't matter if it's the best or the worst, I also take in consideration what they are charging you for that fifth wheel. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Last year, I put Grand Design Solitude on the list of worst. And the reason being, at the time, frame failure, frame flex was still a big thing, and they were still overcharging it, right? But guess what? Spoiler alert. Grand Design Solitude is not on this list. Okay, so let's start with number 5. Number 5 on the list is Brinkley RV. Now, the only 2 reasons why Brinkley RV finally has made a top 5, either best or worst, on my list is because of the leaking problems that I am continuing to see from consumers. Now, here's the interesting part. I don't know if these consumers are telling me the truth about having their videos removed. That's not me to decide. That's for social media, Brinkley, and all those people to decide. But the videos and the photos and the stories I've been getting on Brinkley fifth wheels for 2025 into 2026 is they are still having a big problem with those exterior seals. And again, I'm not going to bag on them about it. I've said this over and over and over again. It is an experimental thing that an RV company decided to do, one of these automotive type of seals. So far, it's proven that it does create or have a problem with water getting into the coach. On top of that, the price that you are paying for that unit compared to what they are building and the build quality is still so far out of whack, it's not even funny. So those are only 2 reasons. Outside of that, some positive things about Brinkley is Brinkley to this day is still doing a fantastic job with use of space. They are, if you walk into a Brinkley, they look gorgeous. They have a sharp look on the outside, but you got to start looking at the small things to understand where I'm coming from, because they do an excellent job with the eye appeal, and they do an excellent job with no waste of space. And I've said that now for 3 years. For 3 years, the best thing about Brinkley is they do not waste the space in any other travel trailers, fifth wheels, or toy haulers. So great stuff. But they are far from the worst. In fact, let me put it to you like this, folks. There were 9 fifth wheel brands that I was considering to put number 5. Okay. Just unfortunately, when I weighed out all the options, price, the leaking issues, the non-solving of that leaking issue yet, I had to put that in there, right? Okay. That brings me to number 4. Number 4 on the list is Grand Design Reflection. I'm looking at 2026 compared to 2025 and 24. And what makes me concerned is it looks like they have cheapened the unit. Like they've removed a lot of what made reflection so cool. Because if you guys take a look at my videos about frame failure and frame flex, Grand Design Reflection was only on there with fifth wheels that were like over 35 feet. When you were talking about their 28, 29, 30, 31 footers, they weren't having the frame problems that the bigger units like the Solitude, the Momentum, and the bigger Reflections were having. Okay. That being said, it just seems to me, as I'm looking inside of these through videos, I've seen a couple in person, it just seems like the price is going up and they're giving you less. And to me, that's a problem, right? It's a real big problem. That brings me to number 3. And number 3, he's going to kill me, is Coachman Chaparral. Again, another one of those units that for years when I sold them, they were solid, kind of like Grand Design Reflection, as far as they had so many really cool floor plans, lightweight, gave you a lot of bang for your buck. But I can just tell from where I stand. Sorry, I'm going to blow my nose. Where I stand, and God, man, it's so hard to say this because I do love Coachman Chaparrals. I sold them for years. But it just seems to me that bang for the buck has gone out the freaking window. Just absolutely like ejected out of the window. That brings me to number 2. Number 2 will shock you because I'm a huge, huge fan of these guys. I am one of the biggest fans of the boys that own Alliance RV, and I can't do it. I can't do it this year. I cannot put them in my top 5. There has just been too many problems on the back end of 2025. And and I know they'll get straightened out. Okay, don't get me wrong. I know eventually they will get it straightened out. But it just seems to me, based on conversations I've been having with technicians, with consumers, and some of the videos that I've seen, I got to put all the Alliance fifth wheels from the Paradigm to the Avenue at number 2. And I hate to do it because I love those guys. I have nothing but love for those guys. But as you guys know, I'm very down the middle with this stuff. If something's screwed up, we need to talk about it, even if I absolutely love the product, right? And number 1, and this is, again, something that hurts a lot to say, but I have to go Forest River Riverstone. And specifically the Reserve. Okay, I'm not talking about the big dog MC 442 or anything like that. I'm talking about the Reserve models. Now, a lot of them are the same floor plans, but it just seems like, again, like Brinkley, okay, too many of these issues, and then you bumped up the price. So and again, this is based on videos. This is based on consumers, dealers, technicians, people I've all talked to. That's how I put these lists together because I can't go see everything in person. But when I take a look at everything that has been placed out there, especially after dealer days, I got to say that unfortunately this year, 2026, 2 of my favorite brands I got to put as the top 2 worst. So to recap, number 5, Brinkley RV, number 4, Grand Design Reflection, number 3, Coachman Chaparral, number 2, Alliance RV, which includes the Avenue and Paradigm, and number 1, Forest River Riverstone Reserve. Not the big dog full body paint ones. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the lighter weight, no body paint, cheaper version of it. Those 5 are your top 5 worst 2026. And oh boy, am I going to get my butt kicked for that. Until next time, remember, RV stands for toolkit and sense of humor.